Rainicorns and Bird Dogs. It's Ellie. I mean, like, this is my third time recording, and he has stopped the first two, and it's making me mad, but at the same time, I'm not going to get infuriated. I want to do this video with really good energy for you guys, and I'll probably get mad at him later, or just, like, forget about it, because, you know. So, anyway, right now, I am reading my book, or going over my book, The 7-Figure Battle Plans with, dang it, did this the last time, hold up. Okay, so this book is called The 7-Figure Battle Plan, The Plan to Get from 0 to 7 Figures by Hamza. Okay, so I had mentioned a lot of stuff in the first video I was recording, and so I'm just going to skip over that. Regardless, though, I took a lot of inspiration from how Hamza ran his group and how he set up his whole empire thing, and I was like, yo, just mad respect, because, like, the stuff that's in his book, he actually lives by it, and that's something that a lot of guru people can't say. That's something that a lot of coaches and mentors cannot say. They don't actually live by the things that they teach. But right now I'm on page 26, and this is him ending his daily schedule, and, like, I saw that dude's schedule. Dude has, like, a mad schedule. Like, it's very, very down to the core what you need. What's up, man? And so this is basically what my, it's not a course, this is what my guide system consists of, which is in his book, and I finished writing it already. I haven't read his book in like a year maybe, and so getting back to what he MJ, look. So getting back to the things that I know, getting back to the things that I have been taught, putting all of the systems together for myself and my own business, and going from the mentors and coaches that I have experienced throughout my real estate career, it's very, like, it not only is it eye-opening, but it's also, like, relieving to know that I'm putting out something for you all that actually has been very beneficial to myself, and not something that I feel like I'm forcing out of myself. And I feel like that's, like, the block that I have as a person in general. It's like, you know, I will talk myself out of doing something before anybody else talks me out of doing it. But at the same time, like, I am very stubborn, so once I do decide to do something, I'm gonna do it, and there's nothing anybody can tell me that will stop me from doing it. So, like, it's good on both ends. It's just, you know, having that self-confidence in the very first place. Okay, so anyway, I will be reading this excerpt from his book, and this is what I'm talking about in my own system. So to make the best use of your time, you should absolutely start looking to leverage other people in order to buy more time. Hire at least one new bird dog / property scout every week in order to drive for dollars for you for 2 hours per day. In 2 months, you'll have 8 bird dogs driving around town for 16 total hours per week. Bird dogs only get paid if you buy a deal they brought to you. Now, this is like one of those things where people are like, it's illegal, broken without a license. Like, yeah, if you structure your stuff right, you wouldn't even worry about getting sued. Like, who wouldn't be happy with the way that a bird dog deal goes? Like, that just sounds like some realtor hater type stuff. And Hamza is a realtor himself, so he wouldn't give illegal advice if he himself has to, like, deal with his brokerage and all this stuff. Like, yo, just chill on that whole it's illegal thing. As long, like, what I recommend anyway is you go ahead and pay somebody when you sign the contract after doing, like, the title search and stuff, instead of waiting until, like, the absolute closing, especially if you're a cash buyer and you're going to go ahead and purchase the property anyway. Just go ahead and pay them once you get the contract signed, because if you get that contract signed and it's at the right price point, if you're a reverse wholesaler, you already know, like, what your buyers are going to pay and stuff like that. Once your contract is signed, you can go ahead and pay the bird dog, so it's not, like, dependent on sale. You just have an agreement already in place, and you already have, like, earnest money down from your buyer or something, and before that deal closes, bless you, before that deal closes, you can go ahead and pay your bird dog. If you're afraid of the whole broker without a license thing, it's almost ridiculous how big of a deal some people are making about that. Like, it's just referrals. It's just a referral fee. Like, calm down. Referral fee. If he can get it right, y'all can get it right. Okay, I'm done. Alright, want to motivate them to drive for you more? Offer them $1,500 to $2,000 per deal they find and you buy. You'll have loyal people driving income into your business without you spending a dime on marketing. And that's true. What I also recommend doing is, like, using those leads to create online ads, and also putting bandit signs where your driving for dollar leads are. And I go over that in my system as well. Each hour driving for dollars should produce at least 10 leads. Yes, that's very true. I can get, like, 20 leads in Fraser with an hour. If you have one bird dog driving for you, that's 50 leads per week, assuming they don't work on weekends. Okay, NJ. Like, he's stacking his cars right now, and they just fell, and, you know, it's a whole thing. Out of those 50, you may book 5 appointments, lock 3 into a contract, and sell 2 out of those 3 for an average of $5,000 in profit per deal. You just made yourself $10K per week while leveraging one of the most time-consuming tasks out to someone else. And that is the whole thing in my system, is leveraging someone else's time so you can get everything else you need to do done, but you're still making a crazy profit. Imagine closing 2 deals at 5K, like, because somebody else brought you those leads. How much time could you use, like, doing literally anything else, whether that's prospecting for buyers, whether that's also going out to networking events, increasing your network of wholesalers, finding money lenders so you can get ready for actually flipping properties if you haven't started that already. Like, the time that you are leveraging other people and allocating different tasks to people to do other things for you gives you that time to expand your mind, expand your network, and leverage your entire system and scale your entire business. And this is one of the creative things that, you know, it helps people build their real estate brand, especially if you're a personal brand and you're not going strictly by just your business name. So here's the rest of this. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Get creative with it. Hire different vendors as property scouts, people in your friends or family groups, your church, mosque, or wherever you may be going on a consistent basis. Place business cards everywhere you can, stating you buy homes for cash. Put car magnets on everyone's cars who's driving for dollars. There's so much you can do to make effective use of your time. You just have to go out and do it. And that is something that we did do in our business. Well, it wasn't my business. The partners that were previously... Okay. Well, anyway, we worked with somebody who did this, and we had a car magnet on our car. And I don't know the results from it. I didn't get, like, the analytics and, like, how much people called and stuff like that, how much money was made. But it does get you a lot of attention, and also having a magnet on your car reduces that tension that you might get from people in the neighborhood. So if somebody sees you driving slowly, looking at houses and stuff, they're less likely to say something to you when they see on your car, like, we buy houses for cash. If they look at you and they're like, oh, okay, well, they're here for business or whatever. And so that is not only like a credibility giving type thing, keeping people safe and driving in the neighborhoods, but also that person might call the number as well. And that is another lead that you can add to your database. And that ended on page 27, and the next chapter after that is prospecting and lead generation. That is pretty much all we go over in my system as well. It's just prospecting and lead generation, pre-qualifying leads, and he goes heavily into the importance of pre-qualifying your leads, MJ. Of pre-qualifying your leads, because the more you pre-qualify your leads, the less questions you'll have to ask on the appointment. And the whole point of the appointment is to already know whether... well, you want to already know the amount of money that you're willing to put the contract for, and you also want to know how urgent the situation is. So you could get a lead where you really need to go on the appointment tomorrow, or you could get a lead where you need to go on the appointment in the next 2 weeks. So you have plenty more time to get your max allowable offer for that 2-week appointment versus that next day appointment where they need cash. Like, next week they really mean for you to close in 7 days or less. And so just pre-qualifying the leads and having good lead generation is really all it takes. Really that's all it takes. That's the first step. I'm not going to go too far into the next steps as far as, like, you know, having good closing skills. You should, as a wholesaler, you should already have a good database of buyers. You should already be communicating with people, building your network. I feel like that's the first part of it, instead of thinking that chasing the lead is the biggest part of it, at least as a wholesaler. You know, maybe it's opposite for a cash buyer. They'll have to make sure that their lending is in process, so they'll know what type of properties to go after, or they might need to know, like, how much the rehab is going to be, and they need to stay in a certain price point or whatever. So I feel like it's just, you should already know how to close and know how to close deals before you even start thinking about lead generation on a large scale. like, of course, you're going to need a little bit of lead generation in the beginning to at least figure out what type of buyers you're going to be working with and stuff like that, using different leads to not necessarily fish for buyers, but see who is interested in those leads. How about I'm talking and you can wait on me? This dude. Yes, you got your ball now. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys haven't joined already, make sure you join Wholesaling House's Mastermind. That's an awesome group to join. Hamza is a great teacher. There's a lot of wholesalers and flippers in Memphis who I admire and their process. I think Hamza had his markets in Memphis and Dallas and I think one other city, I don't know. I'm not making seven figures, so I would know all the things that he has going on. And seven figures is very important. 99% of millionaires are made through real estate, and if your goal isn't to make $1 million in real estate for your business, at least, maybe not for your personal income, but at least in your business making $1 million, really you're not going at it the right way, and it's very easy for you to sink. Like the next crash is coming up and all that stuff. And if you don't own about $1 million worth of real estate, at least in my opinion, or you're not moving $1 million worth of real estate, you probably won't last in that economy. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy to bed. He is tripping. This is when I do a lot of my stuff, is like at night, so that's why I'm always recording in my freaking do-rag and my pajamas and stuff. So, are you okay? Cause you over here screaming and stuff. We can't have that. You good? Good? Okay. Cool. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and go to sleep. I'm going to moisturize his hair and comb it. Bruh, chill out. Lucy's not here. Is she right there? I don't think she is. Anyway, I'm gonna go get all this stuff straightened out, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye, unicorns.